Welcome to the Deathhead Dice 2012 Spring Friendly BatRep Tournament Series. We're on to Round 1, Game 4, Space Marines versus Black Templar, Part 2, Space Marines, Turn 2. Start off with Paul moving his tactical squad and his captain up towards the center of the table, and the Dreadnought to get a better firing line at the Land Raider, and same with the Vindicator. So the Dreadnought's going to target the Land Raider first with the missile launcher, gets one hit, but fails with a 3, fails to penetrate that 14 armor. Next up the assault cannon goes, gets 4 shots, 2 of those hit, and one of those is a rending hit. Now they've, for some reason, counted this as a glance. I'm not sure why. Nick's making a save because he's partly behind cover, and they get a weapon destroyed result, so they take out the assault cannon. Next up, the Devastator's missile launchers are firing. They get 3 shots, 3 hits, 1 wound, or 1 penetrate glancing hit, and it gets a vehicle stunned result, so just a 1. Now Nick's doing his reserve roll for the assault squad and fails it. The 2 vehicles move around a little bit. The Land Raider is going to fire its hurricane bolters at the attack squad. Gets 6 twin link shots. 4 of those hit. Only 1 of them wound though. And Paul makes a save. Next up, the Land Raider's multi-melt is going to fire. Gets 1 shot and fails to hit. And then the twin-linked las cannon from the Razorback fires. Gets 1 shot, 1 hit. It gets a glancing result, I believe, but Paul managed to make a save because it's partly behind cover. So that brings us to the end of turn 2. Again, turn 1 and 2 just flying by, just a little bit of pot shots from the vehicles, and that's really about it. On to Space Marine turn 3. So the Dreadnought decides the Land Raider's too close. The Devastator squads are the tactical squad's moving up, and then the Vindicator's positioning himself a little bit better to fire at the Land Raider. So he gets 1 shot. It does scatter, but it only actually it's a hit because it scatters less than the distance. It's an ordnance weapon, so it takes the higher number, so it gets a glancing hit, which winds up a 5, goes down to a 3, so they take out the multi-melt. Next up, the Dreadnought's going to fire with the assault cannon. 4 shots, 3 hits, no 6s, so no glancing, so we couldn't do anything. Missile launcher's going to fire as well, and it fails to hit. Now the Devastator's missile launcher is going to fire, so they get 4 shots. Only 1 of them managed to hit, and then it fails to penetrate, so no damage done there, and that brings us to Black Templar turn 3. So reserve roll, so the Assault Marines are coming in. They should have been a little bit closer. You try to get them as close to base contact. The Land Raider's repositioning itself, the Razorback in the back, and now the Land Raider's moving up and dumping out all of its Crusader squad and its Imperial Champion. Just making sure he's within that 2 inches from the exiting. It looks like he's doing his run roll and his move roll after deep striking. And now the Razorback is going to fire onto the Vindicator. He gets 1 twin link shot, which he does manage to hit and to glance. And that gives him a crew shaken result. Next up, the Land Raider Hurricane Bolter is going to fire. They get 12 shots, twin linked. So they get 10 hits, of which 5 wound. And Paul makes 3 of the 5 saves, so it means 2 Marines are gone. Next up, the Crusader squad is going to fire, and they get 13 shots, of which 6 of those hit, and 3 of those wound. Paul makes 2 of the 3 saves. And now going into assault, so the Crusader squad's going to move in on that Devastator squad. Start off with the Emperor's Champion attacking first. He gets 4 hits, 2 wounds, and no save because they're power weapons. The Crusader squad gets 24 hits, or 24 attacks, 11 hits, only 7 wounds. Now we broke the saves down between the Captain, the Plasma, and the Melta. Most of those guys got wiped out. And then next up, the Marines get to counter. They got 7 attacks, 3 hits, 2 wounds, and no saves. And then the Crusader with the Power Fist attacks last with the initiative 1. He gets... I'm going to just take it. They decided to take out the casualties at the end of the combat. Now the Power Fist attacks, gets 3 attacks, 1 hit, 1 wound. And I believe that pretty much wipes out that unit. So that was the... I believe was the other tactical squad. So that's the end of turn 3. Take a look at the table. A lot more activity this turn, especially on the Black Templar side with the Crusaders being dumped out. So, and they're taking a good chunk of that objective area too. So, click on the link to see part 3, see how this goes on. Again, if you have any comments, suggestions, rule corrections, etc., feel free to leave them below. And as we always ask, if you like the videos, you want to see more, just click on the subscribe link above. That way we know people like them. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in part 3.